Okay, so right. No question from yesterday, right? No. Yeah. Let's make an addition really from yesterday. No. Why is the hair coming and the hanging and then yeah. I saw it. My eyes are deceiving me. Yeah. So here. Yeah. So here. It's here to come here. Okay. Here coming. And here the there. You guys, none of you told me like alerted me. There. Where is the there in this sentence? So here will be added to her coming. I'm coming here. So here, so there, where is it there? So the there will also be added to the hinging. Will be dorten gegangen. Dots for the there. Okay. Klar? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you need here coming. So it's coming here ha. It's been here ha the coming. I came here. Okay, or you can just say it's been here the coming. Okay, but then here ha they come when using the hair comment like Hawk Deutsch. And when you say I went there, okay, I went there, ich bin dorthin gegangen. Klar? Ja, super. Und wir machen weiter. So today, yeah, going deep inside the mountains, okay? Um, the cases, the cases in German. What at all are the cases in German? Seems everybody. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seems everybody complains about the cases in German. Why? What's wrong with the cases? Okay, so cases in German. So we have same cases in English. In English, we have cases in English too. Okay, we have the subjects, the direct objects. Okay, we have cases in English as well. The English, we have subjects, what? Direct objects. And the indirect objects. Okay. Okay. Wir haben jetzt laut direkt Object auf Deutsch blau, then the indirect objects mit Farben grün. Yeah. Yeah. So like the only difference between English and German cases is that the only difference. Who knows the difference? Mhm. Nouns. So in English, the nouns, the pronouns, the adjectives, and so weiter do not change in each case. Okay, so for example is the man. Okay, the man in English, the man as the subject remains the same man. Okay, remains the same. I yeah, remain the same man. In all cases. Okay, so in English, the man won't change. Okay, the man, if the man is coming, it is be the same man. But if I'm saying I see the man in like in English, I see the man here. The man is a direct object. The direct object. So different case. Okay, but still the man remains the man. But in German, the care, the pronouns, the adjectives, the nouns, they change under each case. Okay, that's what makes that makes the German language a little bit difficult because I know, yeah, that's the only thing special about the German case, and like people, almost everybody complains about it because in English, if the man is the subject, the same man in the when the man becomes the direct subject will remain the man. Okay, no change. When the man becomes the indirect object, the beneficiary of the sentence, the man will still remain what the man. But then in German, the man in the nominative case changes, the man in the accusative case changes, and the man but in dative case also changes. Same as the pronouns. Pronouns in what nominative changes, you go at h, do, dot, 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 and the accusative. If the pronoun is the direct object, it will change from what h to what mesh, dash, uns, yes, yes, in, yeah, so weiter. Yeah, so then dative will be what mir, dir, ihm, ihr, ihm, uns, euch. Yeah, so yeah, so that's what makes the German case a little bit difficult. But then if you're able to grab these cases, you are done. Your life in the your life in the German journey is sorted. Okay. So here today we are going to give more clarification. Okay. So like we said, we have so the first one is the subjects. The first case in German is the subject. Okay, the subject is called nominative in German. Okay, nominative. So don't be confused. Subject in English is the same thing as what? Nominative. So the subject of the sentence is the nominative what's in the German sentence. Okay, yeah, so in German we have definite articles. I think I should even take the definite articles before the cases. Yeah, we have articles. Articles in general. So in articles, we have two types of articles. We have what? Definite articles and what?
Indefinite.
Yeah, yeah. So the same thing. Definite articles in English. We only have one definite article in English, okay? It's what's there. Then we have a or an, the indefinite articles in English. But in German, I control marks. But in German, we have four definite articles because they have been grouped under what gender. So in English, we have the boy, the man, the woman. Okay, we use the same there for all gender. Okay, so basically we have like in English, if you were to group even under English, you have only two genders, but then they are not actually distributed according to the definite articles. Okay, but then like yeah, obviously we have two genders in English. You have masculine and feminine. Okay, yeah, but then still we use the same there for all of them. But in German, we've grouped the genders under four. Okay. Which are use this there, okay, for masculine gender, use D for feminine, use das for what? Neither. Then you use what? D for plural noun, plural nouns, yeah. Yeah. So these are your definite articles in German, okay? In English, you learn so we have what e or an, but in German, we do have the same e or an. We have ein, okay? Which is equal to e, basically, then eine. Not necessarily but then yeah, I don't eine. Okay, then this is used for then masculine, und neuter. Then eine is used for what? Feminine. Okay, so plural we have no indefinite. We don't have any. We don't have any, like there's no indefinite article for plural because we don't have a people and peer and apples and men. Nah, so plural we don't have it's null for indefinite articles. So we just say people are coming. We won't say a people are coming or and people are coming. Okay, yeah. So examples will be what? Genders or masculine genders. 5 examples. Masculine nouns will be example.
The man,
The
the apple,
the apple. What's more?
the fish, the stool,
Der Tisch. Der
the
Stuhl.
bound,
Der was?
the bound, the
Der
tree,
Bau. Yeah. Yeah. And then for feminine,
The
the
Kartoffel.
brilliant,
is that what you said?
The Kartoffel.
Yeah. So fair. Yeah.
the
The
brilliant,
And
The blooming.
the blooming.
The music.
No, we don't have the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the music, not music. Music.
Oh, okay, music, sorry.
Music. Yeah. Und the Leicester.
Rechnung. Die Rechnung.
Ja, danke. Sehr schön. Ja. Dann für das. Für das. Das.
Das geschafft.
Ist das Geschäft. Umlaut, okay? Pass auf. Das Geschäft. Yes. Next.
das Handy,
Das Handy. Das Mädchen.
das Geschenk,
Das Geschenk. Super.
Das
Und
Sofa.
die letzte. Das Sofa.
Das Auto.
Na klar, wir haben schon. Dann die. Plural will be.
Die Tomaten.
Die
Hausaufgabe.
Tomaten. Die Tomaten. Super. Die Hausaufgaben.
die Sonne,
Not feminine, oh. Plural. The sun.
Die Gemüse.
I'm not saying you are wrong, but
Gemüse
then
nicht plural.
that's Gemüse, but plural is still Gemüse, but then
Die Familie.
just like
Die
it's
Familie.
just like Lebensmittel and Lebensmittel, like grocery and groceries. Okay, so I'm not saying you are wrong, but then it's not common. Just saying you would rather say like Ich kaufe Gemüse instead of saying like using it in plural because
Yeah,
basically when you say it covers everything. Mhm.
they're quite familiar, like the familiar.
You don't have the familiar. It's the familian. The family,
Mm.
that one
Familiar.
is singular. The family plural is the familian. So the most our person, singular,
Dishwestern.
Western, you know.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Let's say,
The blooming.
yeah, the blooming in Elton. Okay, cloud.
Yeah.
So we don't have this in English. English, they are all one family, but in German, klar. So then we have to turn them into indefinite articles. Okay, so for ein, for masculine, we have der Mann will be what? Ein Mann. Ein Apfel. Ein was? Ein Tisch. Ein Stuhl. Und ein was? Ein Baum, ja. Dann Hoffel will be eine Kartoffel. Eine Wand. Eine was? Blume. Eine Musik. Nicht common, but you just use music without article. Ich höre Musik. Yeah, ich höre die Musik unless we're talking about particular music. Yeah, so eine Rechnung. Ja. Und for that will be what we have in here was ein, ja. So ein Geschäft, okay? My father besitzt ein Geschäft. My father owns. So besitzen means to own, okay? Geschäft. Und du musst aufpassen, ist A-Umlaut, okay? Geschäft, nicht Geschäft, Geschäft, okay? Dann ein Handy, ja. Ich habe ein Handy. I have a phone. Ich sehe ein Mädchen. I see a girl. Klar. Dann hier will be ein Geschenk. Ich habe ein Geschenk von meiner Mutter bekommen. I got a gift from what? My mother. Then ein was? Ein Sofa. Gestern habe ich ein Sofa gekauft. Yesterday I bought yeah, so these are your definite articles, okay? Okay, then or an in English is ein und eine, okay? But like I said, plural, we don't have any indefinite article in plural. We didn't say a people, so right. Yeah. So here lies the problem. Here lies the problem. You see, so we said the rule states that in the only difference between this between the cases in German is that in English and German is that, you know, the cases don't change, but English they remain the same. So the man, when the man is the subject, it will be the man. I saw the man. I give the ball to the man. In this case, the man is what, the indirect object. I see the man here. In this case, the man is what, the direct object. Still, it remains the man, the man, the man throughout. Okay, but in German, the man changes under what each case. Okay, so when the man is the subject, it has a different man. It has this man. When the man is becomes the direct object, it changes. Okay, not necessarily the noun itself, not the name of the noun, but then the definite article and the indefinite articles changes. Okay, pronouns too, they do the same thing. Adjectives too, qualifying the particular noun, they change according to the case of what the noun. Clear? Yeah, so we are going to start. We are now going to start with what the nominative case. That's when the noun is the subjects. Which form do they take? But before that, do you get it? Like, do you get it? Yeah. So in German, when the map, this where all the complication lies. Okay, because sometimes it's difficult, Charlie. So, but so that tells you that it's very important to know the genders of the noun, because if we are being told that they change under each case, that means you have to know what the article itself. So if you don't know the article of that particular noun, how will you then know the changes what it will undergo under each different case? Okay, so when you are learning the nouns, learn their articles so that you'll be able to use them when they find themselves in different cases. Clear? Yeah. So pronouns. Now what? Ich, du, yes, yes, he, she, it, wir, ihr, dann, sie oder former sie. Okay, so these are also the pronouns in English. In English, we have I, we have you, we have he, she, it, then we have what? We, then we have you guys. But just that in English, we won't mention the guys, but then we will tell, hey, you come. But then, like, you guys come. In English, we say you guys when they are plenty, right? So it's still the same in English. Or you guys come, like, probably 3 different people, 4 people, like, different, like, in the informal sector, you refer to, oh, you guys, can you come along? Can you tag along? Yeah, it was so. Then, in the only addition in German is that in English, you is you. When I'm talking to my father, it's you. Just the only thing that I can say to make it polite by adding please. Okay, when I'm talking to you said that. Okay, when I'm talking to my father, daddy, you said that. Mom, boss, you said that. But then in English, in German, we have 2 different you. When you're talking to people in the informal sector, we use the do. Okay, when you're talking to people who hold higher positions or people you've never met before, probably we are meeting the person for the first time, we use this C. Okay, so yeah. So when you go to the supermarket, the people, like the one at the casa is the cash registry, like where you're going to make payments. We are talking to people like at the shop, people you don't know, you don't officially know. You meet someone by the roadside, refer to the person as Z. Okay, yeah. And these also, like, they all have different endings. Okay, you have to conjugate what the verb according to each of these pronouns. Yeah, another problem. But then here is the basics. Okay, basic pronoun and basic what nouns in German. Yeah. So the case is case 1. It's nominative. You said the nominative is the same as the subject in English. The subject of the sentence. Okay. So the adjective, the noun endings for the H is what? E. For the do is, come on, ST. Yes, yes is
C.
T. Und wir is
EN.
EN und ihr ist E und sie oder sie ist so als EN. Klar? Yeah. Yeah. So when you're conjugating verbs, when you remove the en or verb that ends with just n, you do away with the n and add these endings according to what the pronouns. Yeah. So nominative. Nominative is the subject of what the subject of each sentence. Okay. That's case one. Yeah. So a simple example in English would be what? Man is eating us. Why do I have to use eating? Eating is irregular. Let's start with regular verbs. The man is reading. They're all irregular. The man is listening. The man listens to the radio. Oh, music. Yeah. The man listens to music. Yeah, simple. Yeah. So in this sentence, what's the subject in this sentence?
The man.
Because the verb comes after what? The man. Okay, so I always tell you that the one performing the actions, like when the person is mentioned, the verb comes after what? The noun for you to know who is performing the action in the sentence. Okay, so the man listens to music. So in German it will be what?
The man.
The man hört Musik.
Music.
Musik. Not music. Music. Okay. Music. So the man here is what? The nominative, the subject of the sentence. It's never difficult. So basically this means that the noun in the nominative remains what? The basic form of the noun. Der, die, das, die. Basic. Okay. So yeah. Another sentence in English. Yeah, I forgot that I'm teaching you. You already know. So let's go back to yeah. So the woman is my mother and is my uncle. Okay, so no, okay, let's go. The woman is my mother.
Die Frau ist meine Mutter.
Karen, the man is my uncle. Karen, Mr. Kofi, the man is my uncle.
The man is my uncle
Yeah. And why is it not mine? And
because we are using the nominative.
Yeah, but then it may like basically when you use Zine, okay, when you use Zine, Zine means the thing we mentioned before is the same thing.
Okay.
Like the same thing we are referring to. It's like it, we only get to the accusative case, okay, when the subjects and the direct objects are different, then the direct object will be what in the accusative form. But in this case, the man is my uncle. So this same man is what my uncle. So the man is not different from my uncle. They are the same entity. That's why we won't say my name, although it's masculine. Okay, so in this case, it's not accusative. It's still what the nominative. You can also say my uncle is the man. Although say it doesn't make sense, but when you turn it around, oh, my uncle is that man. Clear? So it's the same thing. Yeah. But basically, when you use Zine, Zine means the thing we are talking about is the same thing, especially if we are talking about a noun and not, we don't use this, like, we don't mention an adjective. Maybe I am tired. I am tired. Tired here is what an adjective. But then if I want to say, I am the pilot, I am the same pilot of the ship, of the aeroplane. Uh, yeah, class. So I am the same entity. Okay, but basically when it's Zine, okay, Zine is the same thing. And Werden, okay, Werden, because I want to say I will become a doctor. I will become that same doctor. So it won't be ein and arts. Basically, even when we are using yeah, so it won't be ein and arts. Okay, it was so I will become that doctor. Okay, unless the subject and the other objects are different. That's when we use what the other object will be in the accusative case and decline it according to the case. Correct? Lulu has rest, yeah. Okay, so you are there. I mentioned your name, you didn't answer, right?
Hey, I just came back home.
So the boss is muted. Ah, yeah, the chef, the chef is muted. Okay, muted, loud. Okay, done. Here, I will become a doctor. Will be
Ich werde as
yeah. Ich werde Arzt. Okay, ich werde Arzt. Okay, so you won't say ich werde no. So because I am the same person who become the doctor, you won't say ich werde einen Arzt. Normally to be even if you were to use the indefinite article like in English, it would be ich werde ein Arzt. Okay, but in German, okay, in German when we are talking about professions, okay, we will just say in English you say I am a teacher. In German you say I am teacher. You won't bring the indefinite article. So when you're talking about professions, so ich bin Lehrer, ich bin Krankenschwester, you won't say ich bin eine Krankenschwester. Okay, we ignore it. Okay, we ignore it. Okay, yeah. So ich werde Arzt. Okay, klar. Okay, so that's the nominative. So in this sentence, the Frau is the nominative, the subject. So basically, under the nominative, the noun remains what's the same. It doesn't change under what gender, always the same. When this is what the subject, I am performing the action. Okay, the subject performs the action in this in the sentence. Okay, Case number 2, accusative. The direct object of the sentence. So the rule states that all genders remains the same except what the masculine articles. Okay, so everything remains the same except masculine articles. So under the masculine articles, we have Pierre, und was, und ein. Okay, der for the definite article, and ein for what? Indefinite article. The rule says that der changes to was.
Den.
They und ein changes to einen. The rest remains the same. Okay. Yeah. What of who the action is being performed on. Okay. On and accusative. This case answers the question. Was oder wen. The nominative answers the question was or wer. Okay, so in nominative answers the question what or whom. Okay, so in this sentence, the question will be who is listening to the music? This will be what? The man. Okay. The apple, the phone, the sprouts. So the phone is sprouts will be what?
That's handy. It's Mapuche.
The club. So in this, yeah. So nominative answers the question who or what. So who is listening to the music? The man. Who is your mother? The woman. Who is the man? The man is my uncle. Who is angry? The boss. Okay, the boss is angry. Who will become a doctor? I will become a doctor. So it answers the question who or what is performing an action. So the phone is spoiled. What is spoiled? The phone. So was or where? Who or what or who? Because you know there is who. Klar. Then accusative. You said accusative answers the question was oder wen. Yeah, was oder wen. Okay, so, and the rule says that only masculine changes from der to what den on. Yeah, so an example would be what's common example. I buy.
I see the man.
I buy an apple. I no, you are making a cake. Who is eating the who is eating what? What the masculine now? Who is eating the rice? Who is who sees the balls? I have a mother. Ja, klar, das reicht, ja. So it's answering the question what or who, but in this case, the who changes from wer to wen because we said what masculine changes from der to they. Okay, so I told you guys yesterday that all the W questions aside wen on welch, so where on who on which, the rest remains the same under all cases, but for who and which undergoes changes. So which man uh, which man which man sentence. Oh, English or sentence, English sentence.
Can you use the past tense?
No,
Yeah,
it's your father.
Which man called you?
Yeah, which man called you?
Called you.
Which
Which man? Okay. Which man is your mother? Okay, which man is your father? And answer which man is your mother?
Yeah, but sein is accusative. Sein is nominative.
Nominative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which man what's so which man called you and which man did you call? Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Statement. Yeah, so it's answering the question what or vein. Okay, So, and we said accusative is the direct object. So in this sentence, I buy an apple. Is the I the subject, the accusative case?
No.
Why is it not an accusative case?
Because it's the
I
subject.
is the nominative, the subject.
I is the subject, or basically the I, yeah, is the subject and is performing the action. Okay, it means in the accusative case, no one is performing an action. Okay, the accusative receives the action, directly receives the action. The action is always performed on the accusative. Okay, yeah, on the accusative object. Clear going here. So yeah, so in this sentence, I buy an apple will be
Ich kaufe einen Apfel.
ich kaufe. Okay, einen Apfel. Okay, because it's der Apfel. And our rule says that in the what accusative case, the masculine articles changes. Okay, all genders remain the same except the masculine articles. Okay, so the rest will remain die, das, die, eine, ein for what neuter und feminine, but for masculine changes from der to den und what ein to einen. It's not your fault, it's the German system. Okay, their language, and that's how they move about it. So unfortunately you have to learn it. So in this case, einen Apfel is the direct object. Then, because it's answering the question, what are you buying? What are you are performing the action? Or what am I buying? What am I buying? Okay. Yeah, so I am buying what? An apple. An Apfel. Einen Apfel, yeah. Yeah. So the second one, Herr Müller. Normally with you out. Yeah, so Herr Müller, you are baking a cake. It will be what?
Herr Müller, du
Backen Sie,
einen Kuchen.
backen Sie einen Kuchen.
It's not a question, or it's a statement.
Okay.
Du backst
Sie backen einen Kuchen.
Yeah, Herr Müller,
Einen
Sie backen einen Kuchen. Karen, it's not backed because klar.
it's polite.
But then but then if we weren't like if the Herr Müller wasn't mentioned and like the you here is not referring to just a what be baxed, okay? But yeah, just using it in the formal sector. So Sie backen einen Kuchen. Yeah.
Kuchen.
So in this, it's answering the question what or what who. So is it in this case is it answering the question who is baking the cake or what is being baked?
Yeah.
Yeah, for us, ich habe zwei Fragen gestellt.
Yeah.
What is
Someone is
being
baking the cake, Herr Müller.
Yeah, so it's answering the question. Herr Müller, what are you baking? Okay. Okay, not who is who is baking the cake. It's Herr Müller, what are you baking? I am baking a cake. So a cake and us there, but changes to the. It's not difficult. And like I said, always the main verb of the sentence follows what the subject. Okay, that means there's no verb after a cake. So basically, the cake is what the direct object. You're making in this sentence, I buy an apple. The action, the verb comes immediately after the verb. Automatically, I know that I like. Basically, it tells us that the action is being performed by what? The noun that precedes it. Okay. Yeah. In this case, too, you are baking a cake. Okay. So here, the noun is you. Okay. you and the immediate the verb comes the verb comes immediately after what the subjects. Okay, that means here it's an object because there's no verb after it. Clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So in this sentence, who is eating the rice? Who is eating the rice?
Yeah. So there is rice.
Where
Is rice. The
I
rice.
said the rice. I'm talking about particular rice.
Okay.
The rice.
Okay, the rice. Okay.
Okay. Well, normally, like it's just like coffee. It's drink a coffee, okay? Unless you want to specify, I'm drinking the coffee. It's drinking the coffee. It's drinking in the coffee. But then you can use all like it's a tomato and it's a tomato. Okay, it's like all things that we eat can be mentioned without the article. Okay, so normally like where is rice is restation. I just want to use the indefinite article, the conjugations. Yeah, so then
Yeah.
so there's no verb after the rice. So obviously the rice is the direct object. Okay, the verb comes after who. So the verb. Okay, so it's answering the question: what is being eaten? The rice. Okay. Like who is receiving the direct of the verb, the rice. The rice is receiving the action of eating. So who is eating the rice? The rice. Who is eating the thing? On who sees the balls will be
Wer sieht den Chef?
When
it's not vain, it's wer sieht den Chef because schau mal, who sees immediately who sees, it means the who is performing the action. So the verb will be what in the what unconjugated form, which is ver, because it means the verb is performing the action. And after the boss, there's no verb, which means the boss is performing no action, but therefore the boss is what the subject of the sentence, the direct object of the sentence. Clear? Yeah. So I have a mother will be.
it shall be animated.
Yeah. So it's eine Mutter here because the rule says that the rest remains the same. So if a mother is eating with what eine Mutter ist, the same subject, if the woman is the subject to be what the Frau ist or the Mutter ist. Okay, but then here is a direct object, okay, but it will still remain what the eine and what the, because aside masculine, the rest remains what the same when in the what accusative cases. Clear? Here. Which man called you? So in this case,
Welcher Mann hat dich angerufen?
Okay, so welcher Mann, because it's der Mann, and we said it's why demonstrative pronoun welcher is used like the der. Okay, so in the nominative is what er. Okay, so the welcher will take what an r to indicate that we are talking about the masculine now. So welcher Mann hat dich angerufen? Because the man is performing the action, the calling, which man called. Okay, so which means the noun that precedes the verb is performing the action. So it will be in the nominative case. By you here, there's no verb following you. That means you are what? The direct object. Okay. The you is not performing any verb, sorry, any action in the sentence, but then the you is a direct object. So it's what? Dish, not what? Do. So then, in this sentence, which man did you call? So here, which man did you? By this sentence, the call comes after you, which means what is the subject of the sentence? Who's performing the action?
You.
You.
You. Yeah, you, which means the man will be what? The direct
Yeah,
object.
uh,
Hey, yeah, the direct object. So it will be what?
Version man.
Usually, Welchen man.
Man. Has the
Yeah, has to. Super has to.
and
Angerufen.
yeah. Clap,
Because the core is after what? You. I'm not saying you said always think break it down because when you're having a conversation with someone, it will be difficult for you to think it first in English to know where the like like
That kid, okay.
okay, man, you know Collins. Yeah, so version man has to angerufen. Yeah, so like when you're having a conversation with someone, you can't be thinking, oh, so in English you can't do direct translation, but then you just have to know, okay, you just have to know that it's easy, okay. So if I want to say the man is performing the action before the man comes, okay, if I'm talking with you, oh, the man comes, but then if the man is receiving an action, be like, oh, um, the woman have a husband. Then in this case, the woman is performing the action of having. So then the husband will be what the direct object. So, oh, the Frau hat einen Mann. Okay, so like that's how you have to think. Okay, you can't do the English translation first in your head, like to me, because like this conversation needs to be back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. So is there like we still finding difficulty with this? So with the W questions, Oliver. So Oliver and share changes, okay? So um who did you? And that'll be that's it. Yeah, uh, who
Boy, ChatGPT who? ChatGPT umbrella. What's on normal sentence na yanko?
use your brain. 19s, you are from the 90s, so then Alpha 4, you are
Evidently. Say open English. Open English no one. Now they have a name. They call them.
okay. So who do you love, Ubi? Mhm.
Then leads to
So yeah, so here, that one will be what?
then leads to do.
Yeah, because what? The you are performing the action. The action of love is after the you. So it what do lips vain, but then W questions our format stays that here. The W questions must always come first. Okay, the W question will come, the W question will come, the verb will follow. Okay, the subject will come, then the others will follow. Okay, yeah. So although it's in the accusative case, it just fixed that. So like it's fixed. Okay, so you have to start the question with the W question, but then pay attention to what the case. So the you are performing the action, but the who do you have. Okay, you love who? Basically, that's what. But then to what? Vain.
Leads
Vain
to do.
leads to do. Okay. And then here, who are you visiting?
To
Hmm?
being besucht, yeah, being besucht to I'm working in there.
Yeah, because the action of visiting is after you. So you are visiting who? Okay. So vain besucht. Who am working now? Oh, the next there. Who did you see yesterday? Rich love, let's go.
Then
No, rich love. Rich love to this drawing.
okay. Then
Mhm.
I don't know. Then has du gesehen gestern or gestern gesehen. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, so Vin has to guess in this year. Okay. Yeah. So in German, where there are two verbs, we form the verb bracket. Okay. When there are two verbs, it's called a verb bracket. It means the first verb for haben will take the first position. Okay. Then the second one goes to the end of the sentence. That means the rest will come in between them. Okay, so if the subject must come, the subject must come. If the subject started the sentence, it should be there. Then the direct object will follow. But then in this case, because it's a W question, that's why the direct object started the question, like the question. Okay, yeah. So we call it the verb bracket. The same with modal verbs. The can will take the first position, then the main verb, the other verb will go to the end of the sentence. Then everything will come in between them. In English, you rather say who can eat the food. So basically in English, who can eat the food can eat. Okay, that's the format for English. That means in English, the you the who will come, like the subject will come followed by what? The subject will come followed by what? The can, the modal verb. Immediately the verb will come. Then what's that? The SN, the SN will come. The direct objects. But we don't do that in German. In German, we form the verb brackets. Okay, so the first position will be taken by the first verb. Then the second position will be taken by what? The second verb. Then the rest will come in between what? The yeah. Okay, so
Sentence is,
who
I didn't agree with.
is it?
So, like this sentence is with who
Can't hear you.
can eat.
I can hear you talking, but I can't get the words you're saying.
Yeah.
So who is Peter meeting in the who is Peter meeting in the park?
In the park this evening. When Peter relax. I say when Peter bezoekt Peter. Okay, then it's Peter. Meeting when treat Peter. I say yeah. Okay. In park. In park.
Yeah. So when Peter is meeting who? Okay, who is Peter meeting? Okay, so the who got vain. Okay. When trifft Peter heute Abend in park. Okay. Because Peter is performing the meeting. Peter is meeting or Peter meets. Okay. So that's been the who, because the who has no verb following it. It's a helping verb. In German, we don't use helping verb. Okay, in German, we don't use do. Do you eat? Did you eat? We don't use the main verb is the main verb of the sentence. The main verbs. That's what we use. We use see, we use meeting, we use call, and we use what call, we use love, we use visiting. We don't use are visiting, we don't use are. Okay, we don't use helping verbs except when we only use the helping verbs when they stand alone. Okay, probably immediately after them comes what adjectives and so yeah. So who is teaching? Who is the teacher looking? Who is the teacher looking for in the class? Oh God.
When
Yeah.
who is the teacher looking for in the class? Then sit when sit the letter
Sucht. Oder?
ja, sucht. When sucht the letter in classroom oder Klassenzimmer. Right or wrong, so means classroom, classroom, classroom.
Yeah, class and RAM or class tema. Okay. Normally we use RAM in official settings, and tema is for local, like unofficial. So it's their realm. Their realm is the room. That tema is also the room. But then their realm is normally for formal sects, formal issues in the formal sector. But then when you say class and realm, it's our Christians, okay? Yeah, but still in because they are both what neuter on masculine. Just their, they what that's the She's full. That's why I started. Okay, so where is the teacher looking for the person? Okay, he's looking in, so in classroom. And that's why I started.
Who is the
Fragen.
police asking for the Slovene?
So asking for, okay, it means in English we use asking. The verb asking is accompanied with what for. Okay, asking for to indicate the thing that we are seeking after. Okay, so it's fixed together. You can't say who is the police asking with the ID. You can say who is the police asking in the ID. Okay, it's fixed. So in German too, fragen is fixed with nach. He's asking after the person's ID. So nach is what? Dative. Okay. So it will be what?
Wen fragt die Polizei nach,
The Polizist.
nach
Okay,
dem
the Polizei. The Polizei is the police, and the policeman is their Polizist. Und die Polizist.
yeah, no policeman in police. Policist, yeah. That's the police. But I don't, when you have if anything. Only two markings na kumusa.
I'm in mute, you know. Oh, sorry. I mean, yo. I need a cartoon. Yeah.
Ich habe eine Erkältung, alright. Germans will say I have cooled myself. Like what in English you say like ich habe eine Erkältung ist so richtig, okay? Yeah, eine the Erkältung is but then Germans will rather say I have cooled myself. So ich habe mich erkältet. They'll use sich erkälten. So like the person just say the person knows the right way. Like the person could have avoided it by not staying outside for too long or by not playing in the park whilst it was too cold. So ich habe mich erkältet oder ich habe eine Erkältung. That is auch richtig.
But ich habe eine Grippe.
Ich habe Grippe, I have a cold.
Yeah.
Ich habe eine Grippe. Yeah.
Ich habe eine new.
Is the Grippe is feminine.
Who would she like to invite to dinner?
Who would like this much? Okay.
Yeah. Wen möchte sie? Wen möchte sie zum Abendessen einladen? Oder? Ja, zum Abendessen einladen. Ah, genau.
No, so that's what accusative. Any question? Mama Eden, what's your problem? Which part are you guys having problem with? If you have any question, just ask.
Rabbi, there möchten. You can't use werden. Or
Question is would like. Would like. Question is would like. Okay.
okay.
You can use worden, but then when you use the worden, then you have to use gyan to indicate the like. So it's like vein wurde sie gern zum Abendessen einladen?
Oh, okay.
That's that question we decide now to do complete or better later.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
we
the
begin.
polite.
It's begin. That's with again like no, and that with again and the partner no moisture the partner with again
I think it's a bird or rabbit.
what's that?
I thought it's a bird, like to become. I thought it's a
Okay, but then the moisture contains wood plus like. Okay, moisture means wood like. But then if you want to separate it and use the voden is wood. Vode is voden. Okay, the polite form of the conjunctive right form of werden. Okay. So I will come. I would come. Okay. Yeah. So well, werden. I will come when I would come. Yeah. When you use it here, it contains just the wood. Then you have to add the again to indicate the like. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you can use with again in place of moisture.
You can use wood again in place of moisture. But then we use moisture because we only use the voden in specific, like it's high German. Okay, so like when you are using it, it means we are actually talking about something sensible or something. But then if you're thinking, I would like it. You can say maybe I would like a coffee. I don't know. Ich würde gerne einen Kaffee, but then ich möchte einen Kaffee einfach so. Or ich hätte gerne einen Kaffee. You get there, like it's not important. Like Pacho, Love, do you get what you are teaching? The accusative. Okay, so the accusative form under the ish, under the pronouns will be what? Dish.
Yeah. Mesh. Oh, what's that related? Yeah. Mesh, dish. Yeah. Mesh, dish, in, Z, Z, S. Yeah. There is a soon, soy, Z, Z. Mesh, dish, is that that language can when the translation says LD. But for example, actually, simple English, how to read that fast. So, you have to think.
Okay, so yeah. So in German, we have the accusative the pronouns so undergoes changes. So the ish will be what mesh, the do will be what dish, the ears will change for ear. Him, maybe I see him with what is a in. Okay. He when he is a direct object, change to in. When she is the direct object, I love her, but it's be z. Okay, it means the same. The z form are the same in accusative. Okay, yeah. Then via is what owns, ear is orange, zzz, yeah, cloud. So then um so in these sentences, if we are to replace them with pronouns,
Boy, okay. Yeah, no. The second person plural. And I said, no, in the few crowd, I ain't telling you no sentence in crowd. Sometimes you took know why you confused. And to go for an
yeah,
papa, man. Yeah, I saw only ignore the crowd. We hardly use here. Any ocean every day. First person, second person. Yeah, yeah, I have a papa for mine. Because sometimes you soon find my confused.
so I see okay, Rachel, are you there? Original con, just say, Rachel, are you there? Rachel,
She's there, it's not the
Rachel, why did you
Dangwam
ring
is
your
so for
Zoom?
sure.
Did you call me?
Maybe.
Yeah, so we are dealing with accusative prepositions, okay? So in this sentence, accusative, we say what's the basically what's accusative in German? Which love?
You said the place is nice. I can't really hear. That's fine. You said what is
Accusative.
beneficiary, main object, or direct object?
Yeah, so that's
Hey,
accusative.
no, not the beneficiary, the direct object. Sorry.
Yeah, so in this sentence, which cases do you see? Like which nouns? Okay, like basically how many nouns are in this sentence?
One. How many nouns?
Yeah.
One. C.
Yeah, so which nouns?
Hey. Oh God.
It's like bring your soul.
More like
Like
marriage love.
okay, so I see you every morning. So there are two nouns here and they are pronouns. Okay, so I, okay, and you. But you see, so here the I is performing the action of seeing. Okay, I see you. That means you are what? The direct object. You are receiving what? The action of seeing. So that means you are what? The direct object. And basically the I, the C comes immediately after the I. There's no what verb after you. Okay. In German, if there would have been another verb after you, then we would have sent that verb into what? Nebensatz. Because we can't have two sentences with what? We can't have we can't have a sentence with two nouns, like two subjects. Okay, so if there would have been another noun after another verb after what this you, then that this sentence will have its own what sentence too, like two different things. We have main clause and subordinate clause. Okay. Like example, I mean, I want you to eat. So I want, so I will come. You said? Yeah, so I'm just saying that it always like in basically in every language, I don't know, not in every language, like, but then in most language, there's always a subject and a verb. Subject verb, they are attached to each other. You can't give a sentence without giving a subject. Like each sentence will have what, a verb. Okay, and they go together, they are attached. Immediately after the subject, the verb will come, or immediately after the verb, the subject will come. Okay, yeah. So that's, but then you can't have a sentence, a simple sentence that will have what, like two subjects, okay, and two verbs. It doesn't even exist in English. English, it
Two
exists.
subjects.
English, it exists in English. I want you to come, but then when you break it down, yeah, but then when you break it down, like it's not necessarily a single sentence, okay? Like I want you to come. It's a single sentence. English, you write it together. You don't use any comma. So English is foolish. But then like in German, you can't have a sentence like in a single sentence. You can't have double what subject and double what verbs. So then we will separate it. One will have the main sentence, and one will have what a subordinate clause. That's how we call the subordinate clause in German. But I'm just saying that to know the accusative of the sentence, okay? Like I said, the subject is always attached to the verb. So here, this is the subject because it's attached to what, the verb action of seeing. Okay, so in German, it's either the subject will come, then the verb will follow, or the verb will come and the subject will follow. Okay, so here our first now pronoun is taking the action of seeing. So basically, the I am performing the seeing. Okay, then you, there's no verb here. It means you are not the subject of even a subordinate clause, but rather you are the direct object. Like that's another angle to look, like, yeah, to view the indirect objects. But then the indirect object is receiving the action of seeing. Okay, so I see you, but you are not performing. But I am performing the action of seeing. So but I'm just saying that when you break it down in English, immediately the verb and the subject, they are always attached to each other. Okay, so once the subject, like a noun is mentioned before and it's followed by a verb, it means that the first noun is performing the action. That means the second noun is what, the direct object, who is receiving what, the action. So it's what is, according to the first pronoun, is say what, this. Okay, because you changes when you become the direct object. The accusative is this. Yeah. So it's say this, not it's say do. Immediately I say it's say do, it means what, I see you, but then a German will find it difficult to understand like which of them is performing the action. Because we said ish, you have used a subject, and the do, to use a subject form of the what of you, which is do. So two subjects are existing. So like which one does the verb belongs to? That's why they changed it, so that you will know that, like you get to know that the one is the verb, the one in the nominative case, okay, the ish is the subject, then the dish, the direct object. Okay, that's why it changed from do to what, this, to indicate that it's not performing the action, but then it's receiving the action. Okay, an example here. So Shalman, can you hear me? What's the main verb of the sentence? Is can. Okay, so who has the ability? You have the ability of hearing what me. So even in English, even when we use modal verbs, the what either in statements to do what, I can see you. So even when I say I can see you, the I is mentioned, the first pronoun is mentioned, and then immediately after the pronoun, the two verbs come, can and see, they are attached to each other, indicating that like the pronoun we mentioned earlier is performing the action of can, being able to see. Okay, then the you, there's no verb after you, which means what, you are the direct object. So in this case, in English too, but then when you're asking a question, you bring what, the first modal verb, then you will follow. But then we are not learning English. But then, like in German, we said when there are two verbs, modal verbs, we form the verb brackets. Okay, so when you're asking questions in question sentences, the verb, we start the question with what, the verb. So the first verb is what, the can, können. Okay, so you have the ability of hearing me. So our here will go to the end of the sentence. Then the you are hearing me. I am performing the action of hearing. Okay. sorry, you are performing the action of what? Listening to what? Me, which means me here in this case is what? The direct object. You are performing the action of what? Hearing, or you have the ability of what? Hearing, but you are hearing me, and basically there's no verb after me. Okay, that means what? You are the action, and here is the direct object. You are performing the action, and I am receiving the action. Clear? So it should be what? Rich love. Rich love.
Kannst
Mhm.
du mich hören?
Okay, kannst du mich hören? Okay, so in German we form the verb bracket. Okay, so the first verb will start the sentence when it's a question, like basically question sentence. We always start the question with the verb. Yes or no questions. Okay, yes or no questions, and what command. We learned it yesterday that always when we answer questions in German, we start the question with a verb. So in this case, this sentence have two verbs. It's a modal verb. Before the modal verb, we form the verb bracket. So the first verb will take the first position, and the second verb will go to the end of the sentence, and everything will come in between them. Okay, klar. So he loves her very much. Will be great love.
Ehrlich?
So
Ja, ehrlich. Sie
yeah,
sehr
just
viel.
yeah, sehr viel. Yeah, I get you, sehr viel. But in German, we just say yeah, lips easier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
When you use it like in English, like you are correct or sehr viel. Okay, you are correct. But I'm just saying that in German, we just say yeah, loves are very. Okay, feel or just betoning. Yeah, lips easier. Okay, yeah, clear. You see, so it's not difficult knowing the direct object and the indirect object, the objects, the subject and the indirect object. It's not difficult. So he loves. Okay, the subject and the verb they are always attached to each other. So he, the first verb has been mentioned. It means what? The verb, the first pronoun has been, or the first noun has been mentioned, which means that immediately the verb comes, which means he is performing the action of loving. Then she is receiving, and after the hair, when the hair is mentioned, there's no verb. So then she is receiving the action. Okay, so then here is she, but she in what? Accusative. When she is in what, the accusative form, the direct object, it changes to what? Z, or it remains Z. Klar. Okay.
Wir
Dann
besuchen.
Yeah, Morgan. Yeah. Okay.
Which other school?
Morgen.
In Morgan.
Wir besuchen ihn morgen. Klar, einfach so. Okay. So we are visiting. We are visiting, or we visit him tomorrow. Because in German we don't use what? I will keep on saying it's but one day I'll stop. Okay. In German we don't use what? The helping verb when it's at when we also have the main verb in the sentence. Klar? Yeah. So wir besuchen ihn, because there's no verb after him, basically. But then when we mentioned it, like we are performing the action, we are visiting. So basically, we are performing the action. So then he's receiving the action of what? Visit, to be visited. Okay. So wir besuchen ihn, because ear changes to in what when he is what the subject, the direct object. Klar? Here, she has known us for a long time. Who try?
Really sort the
Is
can't.
that-
Is the measurement?
Yeah.
Other
Is that you might be here? Is it?
one is the can't. Other
That one is
And,
popular.
so like I'm saying, also in German, it's just like saying like using like she has known us for a long time, okay, but then she still knows us.
okay.
Okay, like she still knows us because it's not like the person has stopped knowing us. Okay,
The
so we will
present.
use it in the present.
Okay, so
Present,
Kent.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So is
it
it Kent
can't.
or
Yes, it can't owns. Then we use already long.
Okay, so
This
Sean.
the yeah. So it can't owns shown land there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but this shown, okay, this shown is actually B2, like how the shown is used like in this, it will be explained better in B2, okay, but then maybe B1 or maybe A2, I would say, the Kent owns seit langem, since long time, okay, because I said when you use seit, okay, then you have to use it in the present, okay, seit langem, okay, yeah, klar. Okay. Yeah. But just yeah. For now, just like use either you when you're talking about something happening for a long time but it's still happening. Either you show lange, okay, just add it, write it down. Either you show lange or seit lange, okay, just write it down, okay. No. So I invite you, plural, to my party. I'm inviting you guys, or I invite you guys to my party. Will be what?
Slade.
Mhm.
Oil.
Yeah. Orange.
Oils.
like
Mhm.
or
Is it
Meine
Zoom?
Party ein.
Okay. Zoom.
So it's not
boy,
so.
you can use out
Yeah.
for the
I
party.
forgot it's saying mine. Just like
Yeah. Because of the mind, the ER
Mm.
ending goes to the mind. Okay. Well, if we have been inviting you to the party, then to the
Sure.
party, but so
Yes.
because it's mind. You can't say sumena. Sumena. You can't combine it. And then the two will be in the normal dative preposition, non-conjugated. Then the minor party club, because the party changes to what here in what dative minor party I.
Boy, what
You really use auf. I said there's fixed preposition. You can't say I am inviting you on my party, or in English it's fixed. Okay, English is fixed.
when
No, first.
you plural no. But the ever say there is you singular. What will it be? What will it be?
You singular. Ich lade dich, because you are the director of this.
Does it you okay, you are the okay. So I'm buying you a gift to be what?
If that one is dative, I am buying you a gift. Okay, three nouns have been mentioned in the sentence. I, okay, I is the first noun. Buying is the verb. You is the second noun, pronoun. A gift is also another noun. So in this case, we have three nouns being mentioned. So we have all the cases. We have what the first. You have a subject, a direct object, and what an indirect object. So then the indirect will be what the dative or the beneficiary. Then the direct object will be what the gift. Then I am performing the subject. So like when you mention three nouns, unless maybe one is used with a preposition, then you can. I will get there. We haven't gotten there, but then basically in the sentence you give, we have three nouns in the sentence, which means we will have all cases unless one noun is attached to a pronoun, like it's attached to a preposition. You said?
A preposition. Yeah.
Yeah. You said?
Yeah, that's not. But I want to say I am buying you a gift. So that way the you will be in that but so it's called yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. I guess that's why I said that. That's why I said that never learn a verb, like never assume that a verb is what either dative or a verb is an accusative verb. I told you that even with accusative sentence, that you can add a beneficiary to. we can turn them into dative if the beneficiary, unless it's a fixed dative verb that requires a fixed indirect beneficiary. So when I say it's healthy dear, the dear here, you are still the direct object, but then helping requires a dative indirect object. So although I am helping you, you are receiving. You said, well, I will take what.
I invite you to my party. So you know you are beneficiary here. So why is it not maybe dear?
Because
like the same example.
Listen. Because I get you. Because I said, listen, to the party here is attached to what a preposition. So it basically this party is not any. It's not a case because the party is fixed to what a preposition. Although three nouns have been mentioned, we have party, we have I and you, but then the third noun is linked to a preposition, which means it's not officially a case. When we say cases, is when they stand alone. We have I, okay, we have do, ish, accusative. It's not attached to any preposition. So once a preposition is attached to it, it means this now is dependent on the preposition. So officially, it's not in the normal case. Do you see the party? It's not the party. It's fixed to what? To. So in this sentence, it's not that you can't have the do. You can't have this as what? Accusative, because this as stative, because it's like the third now. The third now is fixed to a preposition. So officially, it's not counted as what being in the normal case because it's fixed with the preposition. The preposition changes its case. Okay, so without the position, if there was no preposition, I'm inviting you a part which doesn't actually exist too, then we can say that we have three now. So definitely one have to be what? The dative and indirect object and the subject. But then the two is fixed, the party is fixed with what? This, I'll give more clarification on when we get to dative. Probably I'll have to meet you guys tomorrow because I'm very keen on this thing. But let's say after this, I won't teach this thing again, these cases. Okay, because I've spent 1,000 years on these cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you like it?
Max to S.
Yeah, so in German we don't use do, okay? But in English, you need to form questions, but then you don't need you. So they needed the subject is mentioned, you. The you are performing the like. Okay, after the it, there's no. So then max do as you like it. Okay, you like it. Okay, klar. Okay, because S remains S and S is still S, it doesn't change. Okay, so S is the indirect object, but then it's the direct object, but then accusative it remains S. That's why it's max to S. And yes or no questions are always stated as we start the question with what? The verb. No, even more confused. I say yes or no questions and command here. We start the question with the verb. Are you tired? Bist du müde? You see, your father ist hier, dein Vater war hier. Are you coming on Monday? What comes to am Sonntag? Do you eat in the what is du am Nachmittag? Okay, so basically that's the same thing here. For yes or no question, we start the sentence with what? The verb. So max do immediately after the verb, then what you will come the subject, then the others will follow. The max do is, any better idea, there's nothing. Okay, so just don't hang, don't think that because you know English is simple. So German too should be simple. They should follow the same rules. It's their rules. Okay, so just have it up. Just know the English sentence and just apply the German rules to it and make your simple sentence. Okay, it's simple when you take it that way. But then if you always try to correlate it to English, then you have difficulty learning the language. Okay, just the teacher calls them after class. Okay, but in German here we have our verb is calling. Okay, by the teacher calls them after class. So you just apply your It's just a simple statement. A statement sentence, a subject, verb, what object. Then the others will follow. Okay, so we start the sentence. The subject is the teacher. So the leader is calling what? Them. Okay, they are the direct object after class. Then after class, the after here, the class is preceded by after, which means the class here is also a noun. Okay, so in this sentence, this class is attached to what? So it's not counted as what? A case, because it's attached to what? The preposition. Okay, so so what? BL
Yeah.
later. Mhm. Z,
Z.
not,
Like the class, their class.
or it depends whether we can say not the Stunde, not the Unterricht. Okay.
Question.
Mhm.
Can you use the verb telephonieren in this aspect?
Unless the teacher is going to call them on phone. So anrufen, okay, anrufen is calling on phone. Telefonieren is also calling on phone. But if I'm calling you, it's not anrufen, just ruft. Ruft means to call. Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
anrufen is to call on phone. Then telefonieren is to talk on phone. Okay. So, but I'm just saying, if I called you, I have to use anrufen, the action of calling someone. But if I talked with you on phone, then we would read telefonieren. It was back to back. But then if I called you and you didn't answer, I can say ich habe dich telefoniert. If I say ich habe mit dir telefoniert, it means that I called you and we were talking. But if I want to say I called you, I left you, like you missed my call. I called you, but ich habe dich angerufen. Basically saying I called you, but then if I want to say, oh, we talked on the phone, then we haven't what? Telefoniert. We haven't telefoniert. We haven't telefoniert. Yeah. But then basically the verb is roofed. Okay, I am calling you, like as in calling with mouth, not with phone call. The teacher is calling the children after the class. So that's why the Lehrer ruft sie nach der Stunde. The Stunde is the class.
That is on phone call.
Yeah. Anrufen is phone call. Then the Unterricht is what? It's also what? Class on the lesson. It's also the Lektion. But because NAC is what? A fixed what? Dative case. That's why they all change their case. So without the NAC, if there was no after here, then in this sentence we would have had what? Three nouns, which the teacher, them, and the class. But it doesn't exist. You can't have the teacher, you can't say the teacher calls them class. Okay, because the third verb is fixed with what? The position is not counted as having a case because it's not in original form. In original cases, they remain there like they are themselves. Okay, then we will apply the changes to them. But then if they attach to what a preposition, it means they are changing, like their case, like they changing their case depends on the preposition, but not what in the normal dative accusative. Do you get it now?
Yeah, klar.
Yeah. So she asked me if I have time tomorrow. I taught you this thing not long ago. Mhm. You say Fragen ob.
Ja, sie fragte mich.
This is not past tense. She asked me, not she asked me. She is asking me or she asked me.
Ja,
Okay?
sie fragte
Sie
mich.
fragt.
Ja. Sie fragte mich.
Mhm.
Ob, oder?
Mhm.
Ob ich Zeit, oder? Is it Morgan or coming for a title?
Egal.
Ich morgen Zeit habe.
Yeah.
So have I missed anything?
Ja, so, sie fragt mich, ob ich morgen Zeit habe. Weil ich sage, ich habe morgen Zeit, not ich habe Zeit morgen. Das ist auch richtig. But then in German, we always say that what time is important. Okay, time is very important. So immediately after the subject verb, then adverbial place of time will come. Okay, adverbial place of time will come. Okay, yeah. So ich habe, yeah, unless maybe you want to what betone, you have a particular thing in the sentence that you want to what betone. So if I want to betone, and betone means to emphasize. If I want to emphasize on like more, then I'll be like, oh, more than okay. In this case, you can maybe what to say. Maybe he asked me yesterday. Gestern hat sie mich gefragt. Okay, if I say, oh, she asked me yesterday, because that is like this, the sentence with Gestern hat sie mich gefragt. Okay, but in this sentence, we don't want to betone anything. And like I said, in Nebensatz here, this ob creates a Nebensatz, and in Nebensatz, you stick to what your subject, your object, and then the verb goes to the end of the sentence. Okay. Yeah. So the flexibility in the main clause saying maybe Morgan has sie mich gefragt, or sie hat mich morgen gefragt, or maybe sie hat mich gestern gefragt. No, the flexibility starting the sentence with adverbs and objects is not like the flexibility is not allowed in what Nebensatz. Okay, and I always say that fragen is used with what ob. Okay, ob. He asks me if I can do this. Okay, but if when you want to say it in English, like the one he asked me to do this, then we use what?
Can you use that like that? Yeah, that mesh that. He asked me that.
We don't use that.
No.
When you want to say he asked me that, I should, it means he asked you to do something.
Yeah.
Because he asked me that how old my you can't so then when you have to use the ask in the English, like someone asking you to do something, then we use bitten he baited mesh, he asked me or the owl for them. I taught this not long ago. What are you beef and sausage mutoni? You can't mean the mutoni in the crowd. I still remember.
Yeah, Charlie, Kaipa.
Highway. You can't mean the mutoni in. I still remember. Twa days from the China not the good ball, I mean, to for good ball. I will help you review, I will make you review it. So, here.
Boy,
Here.
He asked me that.
So he asked, I said, like, don't force yourself, like, don't make it, because English says English uses that. In German, I'm saying we don't use that with fragen. Like, why do you want to force English on German? They are two different things. Okay, just because in English you can say the flexibility is there for you to say he asked me that. Immediately in English you want to say he asked me that. It means the person asked you to do something. And I'm saying that if the person is asking you to do something, we use bitten. Bitten also means to ask to. That's but then the person is asking you for a favor or to do something. But if like practically doing something, then we use what auf for them. And give you. That's what I ever have. Anyway. I've seen fragging and
me type off for them, yeah.
this is why I said delete at the end free. You've deleted it's find it.
Maybe an one shot.
I wrote it. We give plenty example. I don't know, like it should be here, but then the fractal mention it was like part of this.
Oh, okay. People say you can use it. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so like if I want someone to do so okay, this one was even with moisture and we can decide. And we went, the next one was Zagen. And I said with Zagen, we use if the person said, like the person told you to do something, we use he told me with Zolen. Then I asked you guys to practice Because if you don't practice, you will lose it. Okay, so she
Okay.
asked me if
Okay, other.
we use the ob if the person asks you a question, if you can do something, if something like if it's about question, the person asking you a question about something, she asks me how old I am. Okay, then you have to use V. Okay, but then if the person is asking you to do something, the person is asking you to do something, then we use what? How for them or bet it. Then with that one, we use with to. Example is maybe she asked.
Me to come.
Okay. The person is actually asking you for a favor. So bitten means to ask for a favor. Use bitten like that's when you want to mention the thing that the person is asking for. Like that. Basically, it's just bitten. Okay. Yeah, what out for them. The person asking you or forcing you to do something. Okay. Yeah. And this because Collins, you have to mute. So she asked me to come. The person is asking you to do something. Okay. So if the person was polite, if you want to say the person was polite, asking you to do the thing, then use bitten. Okay. Like you did the thing and the thing was like more of a favor. The person asked you to do something in the polite form. Then what? They bitten. The past tense of what? But yes, they had mich gebeten. Okay, the past tense is gebeten. Okay, gebeten. The past tense of beten is gebeten. Sorry. The present perfect is hat gebeten. Gebeten. Then the past tense is pat. Then the present perfect is hat gebeten. Okay, but the present is regular, so they had mich gebeten to come in. When you use because she asked me to come, I was doing the coming. Okay, then to come in, but she asked me to come. Okay, so if you want to say the person actually asked you to do something, but it was like it wasn't something you really enjoy doing. Maybe like the person kind of forced it. Because after all, then it's not like you did the thing, but then it wasn't actually your own idea. You never thought of it, but then the person made you do it. You kind of force, but force means zwingen. Force is to, but then we use for maybe the person he asked me to call the boss. Okay, then so he had this before it. Then chef to hold it. Okay, we use it with two. Okay, to come. What's it?
Is it out for the?
Yeah. Aufgefunden. Sorry. We have to mesh aufgefunden. We can just have to come with what just to comment, okay? But then if it was to call the person to that. Okay. Yeah. And what's the time in Ghana? 7:25.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Well, like just 5 minutes more. So.
You got me more question. You gotta go.
But what question to me? One day, I don't go and there. What question today? You said?
About Nigeria.
Yeah, possibility of meeting tomorrow because I want to build this case and be done with it. Yeah, so But then I'll ask you a question.
If you see that, also we use it when you are asking somebody to do something for you, right?
Yeah, like
For you,
polite.
not, yeah, the better is like favor. Okay, asking for a favor. Maybe can like normally if I'm saying, can I ask you for a favor? Can I ask you for a favor? In German is they want to ring you. They'll be so polite and say, may I ask you? Yeah, basically just say, may I ask you for a favor? Because even they're asking if they are allowed to ask you a favor. So darf ich dich einen Gefallen bitten? Okay, I said to ask for. If you want to mention for the thing that we'll be asking for a favor. Okay, that's why it's used with to indicate the thing. So therefore here is einen Gefallen. It's fixed. Just like English, you can say, can I ask you with a favor? English is fixed. You have to say ask for. You can say ask with or ask in a favor. Okay. Yeah. So in German, to use ask, the for will be what Okay. Yeah. Then yeah. So it's not that ich dir. So listen. I want to tell you something. It's not that ich dir einen Gefallen bitte, because the Gefallen here, although it says is the third noun, but it's fixed with what the preposition. So it's not in the normal case, but rather it's fixed with this preposition. But if I want to say, can I ask you questions? Can I ask you is like, can I ask you a question? So in this sentence, how many cases do we have? Yeah. So like now, now we have the pronoun. In this question, we have I, first pronoun. It's a noun. Then we have you. Then we have a question, because a question is also a noun. Okay. So the normal case we use frage. It's frage is I'm asking you, is frage dish. We don't say it's frage dia because it's simple like that. As that there's no third noun. But in this case, there is three nouns. Okay. So what? It will be dia. So maybe, can I ask you something? Okay. So still the something. So kann ich dir etwas fragen? Kann ich dich etwas fragen? Because you are receiving it. Kann ich dir? So by in German, asking question, you use stellen, but then kann ich dir? Because when you want to say, the question will be, fragen means to ask, okay? So you can say, kann ich dir eine Frage fragen? Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Well, what's that to say?
Let me clarify something. Yeah, so
okay.
Here, the question is die Frage. Okay, so kann ich dir eine Frage fragen? Grammatically is correct, but then because it sounds repetitive, like kann ich das essen? So we will just use stellen for the, like, can I put questions to you? Stellen means to put. Can I put questions to you? So yeah, like Hock German will be, kann ich dir eine Frage stellen? Just like in English, I'm putting it to you. Like I'm putting questions to you. Yeah. So this is the formal way of saying, can I ask you a question? Kann ich dir eine Frage stellen? Okay. There's a formal way of saying it. And this would be like colloquial way of saying it.
But Salintia and Stella Fragrance. Is it correct?
And is the eine Stelle is can I ask you a position? The Stelle means the position. Stelle,
Okay.
the position. So unless you
Boy,
are
the last
really
question.
asking the person for a position.
Yeah. The last question is in a sentence. Can we have, maybe you're making a sentence. Can we have one part of the sentence being the past and the other being the present? For example, I used my brush to paint a beautiful picture. I used past my brush. I used my brush past to paint a beautiful picture. Present. In German,
You just
I mean, it's possible or all should be past.
no, no, no. You are still the one who performed the action tree. So you just use it to. I used my brush to paint a beautiful picture. Why on the catcher? If I ask any of you to form this sentence, you'll be mute. Like you won't say anything. You'll be muted because you thinking outside the box. Hey, I'm just talking to you in general. Abigail. Hey, relax. I'm just talking to Ubi. I know you guys. But then, because like, the first thing that about your mind will be like thinking of the whole sentence instead of starting the sentence. You start thinking about, and I use my whole brush to. No, just start from somewhere. Okay, because you know I used. If you don't know used, we have three forms of using. We have nutzen, benutzen, and verwenden. Okay, but then to actively use something as in physical, we use benutzen. Okay, yeah. So the past, so whether it's benutzte or ich habe meine.
But that's no, what do you do?
You said?
That's no, the agent on one away, dear. Okay, you know, Charlie.
What's my headache? What's my headache? The organism in tissue. I can hear you talking.
What the worst my play? Idiana now with in a goon where
Headache.
Interesting. Because
So
you
Charlie,
comment presents like pop. Okay, they need to be mixed now. That one is my
yeah,
level.
like it's just like just being like anyway, like the motivation I used to learn the language. Me, I saw my family situation, so like that's the motivation. Motivation and discipline. That's what I say. Motivation and discipline. I didn't force
And
to
one
push
in
the language. Yeah. I didn't push English on the language. I just accepted the language and learned it. Yeah, that's a, so depends. The brush. Which brush do you want to use? Is it?
Pinsel.
Yeah. The pinsel is for painting. The pinsel. That's what. So it's my name pinsel.
Yeah.
So immediately use. See, I used my pinsel. Okay, I used my pinsel. So here the first verb is what use, and the second verb is to paint. They are what two different verbs, and the first verb is not a modal verb, which means the rest of this sentence are going to what be used with what to. Okay, so you complete the first sentence. So I use ich habe meinen Pinsel. Okay, benutzt.
Yeah.
Eine schöne
Ein schönes zu malen. Malen means to paint. Schönes, no?
Yeah. Okay, good. Boy. So if I will say this more about like in order to ein schönes Bild zu malen, oder?
Unless maybe you want to actually say that you use it in order to, like, in order to, the proof is to give
Ah,
reason. Okay, maybe the person
yeah,
asks you,
yeah.
like the picture looks odd, but then I like it. Like, what special thing did you use? But like, if the person is asking, like, maybe you want to say, if I would have used the normal pencil, it wouldn't have looked nice. But then I use this in order to make it nice. Okay, that's when you are giving reason. But then in the normal sentence, I use it to paint a beautiful picture. There's no need for you to say, I use it in order to paint a beautiful picture. Okay. Although in like some certain cases, you may have to use the when you are giving, like I said, when you're giving clarification on the reason why you use the pencil instead of another thing, then you use the But then if you're just stating the sentence, the simple sentence, what ich habe meinen Pinsel benutzt, ein schönes Bild zu malen. Klar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so German is not difficult, okay? So you mix actually if it's possible, then I'll let you guys know it's yeah, klar. Now so auf jeden Fall I'm going to complete this thing, this case system, then I know that will be done. So the rest will be up to you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So wir treffen uns wieder morgen. Guys. I'll let you guys know the time. Okay. Gibt es eine Frage? No question. Dann ich beende die Lektion. I know still